Yes, sir.
Can you define an element?
A substance which cannot be broken down in more than
Broken
two,
down.
broken down into more than two substances is known as an element.
Okay, that's Naman audible? Hello, Naman, am I audible? Nimisha, is my voice clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, define an element. Nimisha again.
A substance. An element is a substance which cannot be broken down into more than two substances.
Okay. Like?
Yes, sir.
Can you define element, Naman?
Yes, sir. A
Define it.
chemical element that cannot be broken into any substance.
That cannot be broken into two or more substances, isn't it?
Yes.
So example of an element.
So we can take hydrogen.
Are all metals and non-metals elements?
Yes, sir.
If taken in single, if I'm taking like iron, copper, single, no mixing is there. Are
Yes, sir,
all
every element.
Nimisha?
Yes, sir, element.
Okay, means all are elements, isn't it? So there should not be any confusion in that. So now can you define atom?
Sir?
Atom, have you heard of atom?
Yes, sir.
Can you define it?
Yes, sir.
Please define it.
The smallest part of an element is known as atom.
Okay, good. And now can you define metals? Naman, can you define metal without seeing
Yes,
your
sir.
book?
Okay,
Tell
sir.
me how to define it.
A metal. Metals are physically stronger. They are lustrous. They are shiny. They can make
They are
a
all the
sound.
characteristics, but if I'm telling you to define it in a single statement, how will you define it? Metals or non-metals in single statement?
Metals.
Nimisha?
Don't know, sir.
Metals are the elements that are, and now you can add the characteristics. What are the main characteristics of it? That are malleable, ductile.
Yes, sir.
Shiny.
What else?
Shiny. Shornum. Snows.
What is the meaning of malleability?
Some malleability that it can be bent and it can be made in thin pieces. So we can
thin pieces. It can be reshaped, isn't it? By hammering it like that. Okay,
Yes.
and what is the meaning of ductile?
So
Ductility means Nimisha. Nimisha,
Yes, sir.
what is the meaning of ductility?
So we can break down it with hammer. Then it will broke into pieces.
That is malleability.
No, sir, it will broke into pieces.
That is not ductility. Naman, do you remember?
So
What is the meaning of ductility? Can you define it? And what is the difference between malleability and ductility?
which
Characteristics of metals and non-metals. Like first we have learned about malleability, okay? What does that mean? That it can be hammered and reshaped,
So,
isn't it? Or into thin sheets of.
Ductility means it can be beaten with hammer to form thin wires.
Thin wires, yes. Ductility is it can be reshaped into thin wires, isn't it? This is the word that you have to mention. Malleability, we can reshape it into thin sheets, you can say, by hammering or whatever it may be. Okay. So malleability is there, ductility we have seen, and anything else?
Brittle.
Means metals are brittle, isn't it?
No, sir, metals are not brittle, sir. Non-metals are
Non-metals.
brittle.
Okay, then that's right. Metals are not brittle, isn't it? And what does brittle means?
So shattering into two or more pieces, sir.
Namisha?
Yes, so same piece broken down into pieces.
Means it breaks down, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Whenever non-metals are hammered, they will be break down into various pieces, isn't it? Okay, now example of non-metals.
So oxygen,
Namisha?
So carbon.
Okay, and metals, example of metals.
so iron, copper, zinc.
Okay. And have you heard of metalloids?
Yes,
So,
sir.
I'm clearing this page. What is the spelling? Metalloids, isn't it? What does that mean? Metalloids means what? Namisha?
So they are between metals and non-metals.
Between metals and their characteristics are between metals and non-metals, isn't it?
Yes.
Like
So
so sodium, it can be cut.
no. Sodium is a metal.
Yes, yes, sir.
Then metalloids are having characteristics between them. Means they are not under the category of metals, neither in the category of non-metals. Okay, they are called, that's all. That's why metalloids, like silicon. Okay, silicon, and then germanium. If they are between, they are having both the characteristics, then are they useful in any way?
Yes, sir.
Are metalloids useful in any way? Arsenic is there, tellurium is there. Nimisha, can you tell me, are they useful in any way?
yes, sir, they can.
Okay, and metalloids are also called as what? Do you know?
No, sir.
Semiconductors. Okay, please note it down. If you are asked metalloids or you are asked semiconductors, both are same. Semiconductor means which is conducting not fully, but maybe 30%, 40%, 50%. They are between the characteristics of metals and non-metals, isn't it? So these are all metalloids as well as semiconductors. Can come in your MCQ questions also, isn't it? So they are also very useful in many ways. Okay, and we are using it practically in many places. That we will discuss afterwards. But whatever your course is there, in that way only we will move further. Okay. So metals, ductile is over. Okay, ductility, conductivity. Conductivity you have already mentioned or not? Characteristics of metals and non-metals. One of them is conductivity also.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Metals
sir.
are good conductors of heat and electricity.
Yes, but non-metals are not, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then luster. What does it mean? Luster.
So
Shiny.
that means shiny.
Shiny. Yes, okay. Means non-metals are shiny.
No, sir.
No,
Metals
sir.
are shiny. Non-metals are not.
Okay. Okay, good. Non-metals are, what are they called? They are called dull, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Opposite of shiny is dull. Okay. Now, on the basis of strength, if you want to characterize them.
Yes, sir. Metals have more physical strength than non-metals.
Okay, metals are stronger than non-metals. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then sonorousness means, I'm clearing this page.
Metals can produce a sound when hit with an object. Some
Okay, means they are
non-metals.
sonorous or non-sonorous.
Yes.
Metals are sonorous or non-sonorous.
Metals are sonorous. Sonorous.
Sonorous. They make sound like bell in a temple, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Hardness.
Some metals are more hard than non-metals,
Harder.
but
Okay.
for
Okay.
exception, we can take it like sodium, so it can be cut. Sodium metal can be cut.
Okay. So means they are rarely softer, isn't it? Metals are
Yes, sir.
like one or two. Okay. You can be asked for two examples also. Now, if you are told to differentiate between characteristics of copper and sulfur, can you? Copper and sulfur. If you have to differentiate between them, how to do it? Can you? Cu stands for
Copper.
copper, and this is sulfur. Can you differentiate between them? If you are asked in your exam, 10-mark question. No. See, copper is a metal. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And sulfur is a
Non-metal.
non-metal. So if you know the difference between them characteristically, then you can easily write all these factors which we were discussing, isn't it? So
Yes.
you should not be alarmed or surprised in such questions. Okay, you have to just see that they are metals or non-metals. Okay, understood?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now chemical properties. Have you seen the chemical properties of metals and non-metals, Nimisha?
Yes.
Okay, what have you learned in chemical properties?
Like some magnesium plus oxygen equals to magnesium oxide, like that.
Like metal reacts with oxygen, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then it becomes what? Metal oxide.
Yes, sir.
And metal oxides turn red litmus to what?
Blue litmus.
To blue. Okay.
Yes.
You've gone through
They
this.
are basic in nature.
Okay, then we can write metal when reacts with oxygen plus oxygen. Okay. So it will give what? Metal oxide.
Yes.
We can write here metal oxide. Okay, this is clear. And the color also you both know. Basic metal oxides turn red litmus to blue.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we to detect whether an element is a metal or non-metal, we can use these chemical properties.
Yes, sir.
So you can be asked for red litmus test, or you can be given in MCQ also, isn't it? Now,
sir.
like magnesium is a metal, Mg. Mg stands for
Yes.
Magnesium.
magnesium plus O2 will be written as what?
Magnesium oxide.
Means MgO,
Yes.
isn't it? Okay. Now, if this MgO reacts with H2O, okay, that is water, then it will give magnesium, what?
Oxide.
Hydroxide,
Hydroxide.
that is MgOH2,
Yes.
MgOH2. So these are the naturally occurring chemical properties. Like if there is a metal left, okay, and you're not doing anything with it, then it will automatically react with oxygen because oxygen is present in the
Atmosphere.
atmosphere only. And this H2O is not present in the atmosphere, then how H2O comes in contact with it?
So evaporated water.
Evaporated water means naturally it is occurring. How naturally it acts? Naman, is this H2O available in atmosphere which can react? Have you seen drops of water on leaves in the morning?
Yes. Sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Sir.
So in that way only, metals can also react with this H2O which are in atmosphere only, isn't it? Understood? So
Yes.
that's why these reactions are occurring automatically. You don't have to add oxygen or H2O to the metal, you need to act it. Okay.
Yes.
Now iron, when iron reacts, iron also gives the rusting process. Rusting,
Yes,
have you
sir.
heard of?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So
Sir.
iron will also react with oxygen as well as H2O. That will give
Yes. Sir.
Fe2O3, which is called what? It is also called as rust, and Fe2O3 means iron oxide, like MgOH2 you have seen, MgO you have seen,
Yes.
isn't it? So this is called rusting. if you are asked to show how rusting occurs, or you have to write a paragraph in it, the most important thing is these chemical reactions, what you are seeing, okay? First of all, you have to write these chemical reactions, then only you have to explain all the process, okay, like rusting and whatever it may be. Copper also is a metal that can also react with H2O, okay?
Yes.
It can also react with CO2 and it can also react with O2 plus O2. Okay. Now this will give copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. Copper hydroxide means CuOH2. These all reactions are there in your book also. You can see it. Copper carbonate. Now by this reaction, there is a mention of color also. What is that? The formation of green coating of basic copper carbonate. If you are exposing copper in atmosphere, you will see a green colored deposition on it. Have you seen anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Green
We
color
can
is
take an
deposited.
example of Statue of Liberty, sir.
Okay, and if you are taking any copper wire in your home, wherever there is a water drop on that, in our water tank also, if there is automatic cutoff circuit and a wire is being dropped in that water, that will also come green after some time, isn't it? That has to be cleared. Then only the circuit acts normally, isn't it?
Yes.
Nimisha, understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now the acidic non-metal oxides turn blue litmus to red. Are you aware of
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes.
Non-metal oxide turns blue litmus to red.
Yes.
That also you have to remember, okay? So shall we move further?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And some more reactions are given in your book that I am mentioning. S plus O2. S is what?
Sulfur.
Sulfur. Good. So SO2 is what? Sulfur dioxide. Now when this
Yes, sir.
sulfur dioxide acts with H2O, okay, then it gives us H2SO3. Have you heard of this H2SO3, which is an acid, sulfurous acid? Okay,
Okay, sir.
understood?
Yes.
Then metal oxides are basic in nature and turn red litmus to blue. Non-metal oxides are acidic in nature, turn blue litmus to red. Okay, if an element forms a basic oxide, then the element will be a metal. If an element forms an acetic oxide, then the element will be a non-metal. Is this much you are aware of?
Yes, sir.
Nimisha,
Yes,
if
sir.
an element forms a basic oxide, then the element will be a metal.
Yes, sir.
And if it forms an acidic oxide, then the element will be a non-metal. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Reaction with water, metal plus water, that is over sodium. Na plus H2O. Na plus H2O. Na is what? Na stands for?
Sodium.
Sodium.
Okay, good. Means it will give what? NaOH. That is sodium. NaOH is
Hydroxide.
sodium hydroxide. Good. And plus H2. That is hydrogen is released. Okay. Understood this much?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, this is also over. Then have you gone through the reactivity of metals? Which one is more reactive? Which one is less reactive? Which is the most reactive metal? You've not seen the series that is mentioned in your book also.
Yes, sir. I
Huh?
saw it. Yes,
Then
sir.
which is the most reactive of all?
Potassium.
Potassium. K, isn't it? After that,
Sir, then sodium.
sodium. Nimisha, you have not gone through this list.
Sir, I didn't remember.
See, this is the most reactive. Now you can draw an arrow like this. Then after Naman, where is your video?
Sir, there is some problem, sir.
Okay. And without referring the book, please tell me how much you remember. After this, do you remember really what comes to after this, after sodium?
Copper, sir, I think.
Copper, pure, or
Yes, sir, I
calcium?
think. Sir, it was C, sir, I remember, sir.
C
Yes,
or Ca?
sir, I don't remember.
Okay, that is Ca, calcium. Okay, not copper. Okay, after that,
Sir, calcium is a metal or non-metal?
Calcium is a metal. We are also talking about reactivity of metals only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then after that,
So after that, I don't know.
Mg stands for
Magnesium.
magnesium. Then
So
Aluminium.
aluminium,
okay. Then
zinc,
Zinc,
iron,
Iron.
Fe stands for. And then Pb stands for.
so
Then comes copper. Okay.
okay.
So it is
so
much
there is
less reactive
hydrogen
than that.
also, no, sir. Hydrogen is
After
also there
this-
in the table, sir.
In the reactivity series, you have to just remember till gold. Okay. From
Okay, sir.
potassium, starting from potassium, you have to, this much is only given in your book. That is enough. After copper, there will be silver, and then there will be silver. Silver, what is the symbol for silver? Ag. And for gold,
AU.
Au. Okay. This much
Okay.
only you have to remember. Okay. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, copper, then silicon and gold. Okay. 1, 2,
So it was
3.
silver.
Huh? Silver. Ag.
Yes, sir.
This one is silver. Okay. 4.
Sir, but platinum is
5.
also there in the table, no, sir.
In your book, it is given.
Yes, sir.
Where it is given, at which number? Platinum.
Sir, if we count hydrogen or not, sir.
Huh?
So if, with hydrogen or without hydrogen?
See, first point which you have been given, is it K only in your book?
Yes, sir.
First is potassium,
Yes, sir.
and then after that,
Magnesium, aluminium,
your voice is not audible, Naman. It's too low.
zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum.
Okay, here you have been given mercury also. Mercury, symbol for mercury is,
It's me.
see, like what I have learned in my book, there was K, Na, and then there was barium, okay, and then there was calcium. So whatever book you are referring, there may be little variations, but please remember according to your course. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Understood. Like after iron, we were having Sn, that was for tin. That has been not mentioned in this book. Okay. That I have been
Okay.
referring. So please go according to your book. Doesn't matter. But whatever list I have written, that will solve your issue. Okay. And hydrogen is written at which number?
The hydrogen is written at the 10th number, sir.
12th,
10th, sir. 10th.
10th number. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So after copper,
Yes, no, sir. Before copper.
huh?
Before copper, it is there, sir.
Before copper. Okay. Here it is written as hydrogen, isn't it? Okay. Then
Yes.
here you have been given mercury also. Mercury symbol is what? Hg.
Yes, sir.
Mercury Hg, isn't it? So this list is also there. So try to write all whatever you know till about 11 to 12 numbers. Okay, that will solve your issue. And you can also Google different list. Different list will be there.
Okay, sir.
Understood?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
and by heart them, because these questions will be coming maximum number of times in your whole future, all the exams. Okay. So I am clearing this page now. Okay.
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 Okay, this was important. Then you have seen that reaction with water. Okay, sodium plus water, you have seen already. Reaction with acids, you have gone through. Metal plus acid is equal to salt and hydrogen. Like magnesium plus HCl is MgCl2 plus H2. Have you seen that? Magnesium plus HCl. What is HCl?
Hydrochloric acid.
Hydrochloric
Good.
acid.
This will give us what?
Some magnesium,
Magnesium
chloride,
chloride, MgCl2 and hydrogen will be released, isn't it? MgCl2 plus hydrogen will be released, H2. And have you also been taught of balancing the chemical reaction or equation? How to balance them?
No.
No, sir.
No. Okay. Now see here, there is one Mg and one Mg, but there are two Cl2, isn't it? So
Yes.
if I am writing 2 here, that means now there are 2H, and here also 2H is there. And this
Yes.
2 is common for Cl, and here also Cl2 is there. So by this way, we balance the chemical reaction. But you have not been told, then it's okay. But in future, you will have to cope up with all such reactions and you will be told to balance them, okay? Now reaction with bases like NaOH plus Al, sodium hydroxide, NaOH plus aluminium. Then that will give us what, Nimisha? Can you tell me?
Wait, sir. Don't know, sir.
Naman?
No.
NaAlO2. That means sodium aluminate. Okay, NaAlO2 is called, and plus hydrogen plus H2. So these are in your book. So these are very important. Okay, you have to go through one at least.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So go through all the reactions, whatever has been given in your book at least. So difference in chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Metals form basic oxides, non-metals form acidic oxides. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Metals react with water to produce hydrogen gas. Non-metals do not react with water or steam. Okay. Metals react with dilute acids to produce hydrogen. Non-metals do not react with dilute acids. So these 3 points you can write, or I will have to write on the board. It is also written in your book, I think.
Yes, sir.
Chemical difference between chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
And there are some problems also. You can practice them. Then there are uses of metals and non-metals. What can be the use of metals, Nimisha?
So, like zinc is used for galvanizing.
What do you mean by galvanizing?
A layer of zinc is coated
Layer of zinc is coated.
so that
Naman?
it cannot be rusted.
Steel pipe is coated with zinc to prevent corrosion.
Your voice is not clear. Nimisha?
Steel pipe is coated with zinc to prevent corrosion.
Okay. If you are told to write about galvanization, okay, then first of all you have to draw a diagram like this, and you have thing is of what?
Zinc.
Zinc. And what is this?
Iron, we can write this up.
Suppose it is iron. Okay. Now to avoid rusting of iron, we have to coat it with zinc, isn't it?
Zinc.
That is
Yes.
called as galvanization. Okay, now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So difference between metals and non-metals. Uses of metals are many, and I think there are 8 to 10 points given. You can write it and thinking it also. You can remember it also. Use of non-metals. Any one use of non-metal, Nimisha?
So, like sulfur.
What is it used for?
So it is used for fireworks.
Non-metal is wood and non-metal wood.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Are we not using this wood as non-metal many times? Why
Yes,
we are
sir.
using? Tell me. In kitchen, are you using it?
Yes, sir.
And why we are using it? Because it is a bad conductor of heat and electricity.
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
So there are many. Please see that at least tell me 5 points of uses of metals and non-metals tomorrow. Okay. We will start from
Okay,
here
sir.
only. And how was the quiz today?
Fine, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we will revise it once more. We will just start from uses of metals and non-metals. And what next chapter you would like to have, please WhatsApp me. Okay. whoever WhatsApp me first, that only we will take in. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So can I end up the class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Welcome.